Welcome back to the channel. Racer X here, and I am back in Mansfield with my good buddies here at Gearheads Performance. And today is a great day because today is actually dyno day, which means we get to dial in my twin turbo Mustang. Hopefully we get the boost gauge configured, all of that good stuff, just like the blue car had done. And theoretically, this car should put down the exact same amount of power at the same boost level, but we don't know until we strap the thing down to the dyno and see what it really does. So today we're gonna do that very thing, get it completely dialed in and ready to go, so it should be a good one. Also guys, if you're new to my channel, do me a big gigantic favor, please consider subscribing. You can do that right down here in the corner. You can follow me on my new Instagram page at RacerXOfficial and hit that thumbs up for me, and here we go. Now, I am back in the shop area. As you can see, Luis actually has the car up on a lift right now. And he's got to do a couple of quick things before we actually put the car on the dyno today, because the last time I came to you guys, we were trying to figure out a little bit of an issue with the fuel system. And what we did is we bypassed the Hobbs switch in this 4 Innovations fuel system, and then the car seemed to be happy. So we actually found a little bit of a problem with the data logs. So once we bypassed that, the car seemed to be just working on all cylinders, which meant we had an issue with the Hobbs switch. Well, 4 Innovations has sent me a brand new Hobbs switch, and of course here you see the car up in the air, which means Luis is going to put the new Hobbs switch back in the car. Then we'll throw it on the dyno to make sure that the car is happy with the new switch already installed. Seems like the smart thing to do, and so it should be here just a few minutes before we put it on the dyno and see what it does. So as you can see, the car is now strapped down to the dyno, very secure. We're getting things ready to rock and roll here. I've got I got my biggest fan here, you can see, ready to kind of cool the car down a little bit. So the car is literally just cooling down. The new Hobbs switch is already in, ready to go, wired up. And then Travis will come over here and work on doing these pulls. We'll send this data over to Palm Beach Dyno to make sure the car is happy. And we'll get this boost gauge calibrated in. All right, so very first pull we're gonna do is once again on the spring. So this car should make around 6.5 pounds on the spring. This is without the boost gauge being engaged. So here we go. Okay, so here we got all the numbers corrected. So we do have SAE now, so that is apples to apples comparison versus the blue car, but now you can see what kind of power it's making. So it made 799.42 horsepower to the wheel, and of course 610 pound-feet of torque at basically exactly 10 psi. So very, very round numbers really when you look at it. So basically at 10 pounds, the car's making 800 to the wheel. That is a lot of power in a stock bottom in Mustang. So this thing is definitely making the power. Like I said, it's like 110 degrees in the shop today, guys. You can see a couple of one of the other pulls we did here, 760 at essentially 8.5 pounds. So the car is definitely making the power even in this heat. So now we're gonna turn it up just a little bit, make sure Palm Beach Dyno is happy with what they're seeing on the log, and we're gonna go from there. All right, there you can see it, 11.5 pounds of boost, 843 horsepower, 644 pound-feet of torque, laying down some pretty solid numbers. All right, guys, last pull. This one should be a pretty big one. We'll see what it does. All right, so the verdict is in, guys. So keep in mind, this is on the 4th consecutive pull that we did. That shows just how incredible this turbo system really is, because it just continues to make power. So this was on a really hot pull, guys. So this is 868 and 651 pound-feet of torque. Good God, man. And keep in mind, like I said, guys, it's 110 degrees here at the shop. It is SAE corrected, and we're looking at just under 12.5 pounds of boost. Very, very impressive. So you would expect those numbers to be certainly a little bit higher on a nice, cool pull, but we wanted to go ahead and get the pulls in. So very impressive work indeed by the car. One other quick item of note, look at how this torque curve really never drops off, and really the power curve. This thing makes power all the way to redline, guys. That is so impressive. You feel it when you drive the car. It's a difference in how these cars make power, but these turbos, they just never give up. A lot of cars, you'll see the dip here at the end. No such thing on this car. It will make power the entire way home. Very, very neat, and how smooth that curve is. All right, guys, as you can see, Travis is now pulling the car out. A very successful dyno session. Man, this thing is really putting down the power. Kind of like what I expected. It made a little bit less than the blue car did, but only because of the additional heat, and that was on its, like I said, it's its 4th consecutive pull on that one. We were just pulling it like crazy to make sure that it was still going to just continue to make power, and it did. So really, what I expected was it was going to make basically identical numbers. I think same conditions, it really would have made identical numbers to what the blue car made. So really successful day here at the Gearheads. A huge shout out to all the guys here, of course Travis as well, for doing his work with the tuning and the dyno, and it's been a good day. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.